Gynoug, known in North America as Wings of War, is a 1991 scrolling shooter video game developed by Messiah and published by NCS Corporation for the Sega Megadrive. Gynoug is a horror-themed shoot-'em-up similar to Thunder Force and other horizontal shooters, but other than most of them where you play a spaceship of some sort, here you play as War, a member of the so-called Flying Men, who look quite similar to angels. The home planet of these people, Ikis, has been taken over by a virus that has mutated into a collection of quite horrible creatures, and every previous attempt to battle them has failed. So now it is War's turn to save his home planet and destroy these mutants once and for all. Gynoug consists of 6 levels with no checkpoints. Instead, you continue right where you died, if you have any lives left. Each level, except for the last, has a mid-boss and a large end-boss. There are 3 types of shots, one that fires in a triangular fashion, one that fires more concentrated in a corridor and a bit to the back and above, below, and one that fires to the front and back simultaneously. You can power them up in 2 ways, by shooting more bullets and by strengthening them. Your speed can be increased by collecting feathers. Gynoug features numerous waves of fast moving enemies. Thankfully, the game has a rapid fire shot. You can collect 2 types of orbs that increase your firepower. Blue orbs increase the spread of your shot, whereas red orbs increase the damage dealt by each shot. As indicated at the top of the screen, your orb power levels max out at 5, but you must collect several orbs to increase by 1 level. Dying will decrease your shot levels, but orbs are handed out generously, so death doesn't significantly hamper your power-ups. The Mega Drive was not exactly bereft of horizontally scrolling shooters by 1991, but the thing that makes Gynoug reach out and grab your attention are the visuals. Apart from being very dark, they are also very gothic and a bit biometallic and creepy. You get floating heads, huge spiders, and hands that drop down from the ceilings. For the most part, these disparate design choices all fit together surprisingly well. Each level has at least a mid-boss and an end-boss, and they certainly don't look like anything ever seen in a video game before this. For the most part, they all look like grotesque human abominations that have been fused with metal. Not quite sure what to... Okay, the least said about this one, the better. The look of the game looks heavily inspired by the works of Joel Peter Witkin. This is some of the most interesting sprite work seen from the 16-bit era, and is definitely worth a look, even for non-shooter fans. The challenge the game presents is hard. Very hard actually. Projectiles appear out of nowhere. Most of the smaller enemies take several shots before they are dispersed. The screen can literally fill up with many enemy projectiles. I had been able to beat most every game I ever played in the Mega Drive, but this was one game I could never complete. I could get to the last level, but there the challenge is every mid-boss and one of the end level bosses, followed up by the game boss. All in, it's a very challenging game. The game moves at a slower pace than most other shooters as well. In fact, skillful players will spend nearly an hour to finish it. Most Megadrive games of the time could be completed in 15 to 20 minutes, so you do really get a lot of value for money with this game. The sound is a mixed bag. Some of the music is good and some is rubbish, and the sound effects are not the best. But to be honest, you're too busy flying around the screen avoiding enemy projectiles to notice any of that really. In closing, Gynoug is a game on the Megadrive that I view as a real classic. It's one that doesn't seem to get a lot of love for whatever reason, but for me, I always enjoyed having a go on it, and this kind of game was not really my cup of tea either at the time. Gynoug is a must for shoot 'em up fans, and if you haven't played it before, then I can recommend it for sure. That's all from me, folks. If you like this video, then please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching.